morning sun where the flowers bloom, colors burst like a painter's dream come true. Roses red and violets blue, every petal whispers something new. From tiny seeds to trees so grand, every leaf and bird, it's all at hand. Hello, hello plant, welcome to the show, where every flower tells a story. Watch them grow. Hello, hello plant, in every shade and hue, for every heart and every hand, we've got something for you. Indoor greens and outdoor scenes, design your space, let your garden dreams glide. Personal touch with our garden design, free sessions to blend within your budget line. From tiny seeds to trees so grand, every leaf and bird, it's all at hand. Hello, hello plant, welcome to the show, where every flower tells a story. Watch them grow. Hello, hello plant, in every shade and hue, for every heart and every hand, we've got something for you. Now everybody, let's say hello, 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 hello. Hello, hello plant, welcome to the show, where every flower tells a story. Watch them grow. Hello, hello plant, in every shade and hue, for every heart and every hand, we've got something for you, just for you. In the morning sun where the flowers bloom, colors burst like a painter's dream come true. Roses red and violets blue, every petal whispers something new. From tiny seeds to trees so grand, every leaf and bird, it's all at hand. Hello, hello plant, welcome to the show, where every flower tells a story. Watch them grow. Hello, hello plant, in every shade and room, for every heart and every hand, we've got something for you. Indoor greens and outdoor scenes, design your space, let your garden dreams glide. Personal touch with our garden design, free sessions to blend within your budget line. Alright. From tiny seeds to trees so grand, every leaf and bird.
Hello, hello. Now today I'm going to take you to Heuchera Heaven. Now you probably wonder what that's all about and what it is. Take your typical hard day at work, you come home and you switch on the news and there's wars, there's cost of living crisis, inflation, unemployment, all sorts of things. So in the world of gardening, in the world of plants, it's like another universe, another sort of place, and there's all sorts of beautiful plants, and as you explore it, you find more and more unusual and wonderful things, and it could actually form a little bit of an escape. Now I'm going to do that today. There's a plant that you probably don't know that much about, and it's called Heuchera, and I'm surrounded by beautiful Heucheras here. And Heuchera, it's a beautiful plant that anybody could really, really enjoy. Anybody could come to my Heuchera heaven and get some fun and a little bit of escapism with Heucheras. And there's many different sorts of Heucheras, and we're not going to show you them all today because it would be too much. What we're going to do is we're going to show you a collection of 10 different Heucheras. They're all nice contrasting ones with various different qualities and different aspects to them. Now what Heuchera is, it's a clumping plant, and when you buy it in a pot, it's normally just one little rosette, and if you plant it in the garden, what's going to happen is it's going to multiply and spread and form a beautiful little clump. And what some people do is every 2 or 3 years they'll dig up their Heucheras and they'll break them up, and you can share them with friends, or you can make a big border or spread them around the garden. And if you break them up after say 3 years and spread them out a little bit, you'll find that that'll keep them really fresh and lively and really nice. Now who can grow Heucheras? In Australia, you could grow Heucheras from the bottom tip of Tasmania right up into say Brisbane, right through that whole range of climates. They'll take humidity. In very, very frosty regions, like say you're in a place like Shepparton or something like that, you might want to shelter them a little bit from the frost in the winter. You could have a courtyard, you might have a sort of a deck area, or you might have a garden. You can grow them in a pot. And when you grow them in a pot, one of the great things is that at certain times of the year, they're covered in beautiful flowers, and you can bring that pot inside and enjoy it inside for a few weeks while they're flowering. They're not an indoor plant, but they can certainly have a little stint inside. You can pick them out and you can plant them as a border. You can collect them, and like here, I've got a beautiful little pot of them here, and I put this together here. This is a peppermint one and a beautiful purpley one, and I think this one here is pinky panky. So some of them are quite sun hardy, but as a general rule, you'd want them out of the really hot afternoon sun in a sort of an easterly kind of position, or in a sort of filtered sun position, you know, under a tree or something like that. And the thing with Heucheras is if you collect different Heucheras, you've got all different colored foliages, and you can put them together and you can make beautiful contrasts with them, make an interesting collection, and they're really, really wonderful. And every one of them has beautiful foliage, a beautiful sort of clumpy kind of shape. They all have lovely spires of flowers, and they all have different colored flowers, and often those flowers will contrast beautifully with the foliage. Now what we're going to do now is we're going to run through and have a look at some different Heucheras and show you the different foliages. And what I've got here is I've got Copper Cascade, and this is going to have small white flowers in spring. Look at this beautiful coppery coloured foliage, and it's got a lovely underside on it there, sort of a reddy underside, but this is a beautiful leaf, and it's a colour in foliage that you don't often see in nature. Really, really unusual. So that's Copper Cascade, and you'll find that that one's quite a hardy and strong grower. Now here we've got goji berry. Now goji berry, this one here is going to take tough conditions. It's going to, a bit hot, a bit humid, and it's got beautiful frilly foliage. It's got red stems with white flowers. And I mean, when it's fully in flower, it'll be much more spectacular than what you're seeing here. But a lovely, compact, tight little one. Very, very beautiful, fine foliage. A bit of a toughie, and if you want to get one out in the hot sun, this is a good one to get out in the hot sun. Now here we have peppermint spice, and you'll notice here where I made this pot up, I put the peppermint spice in there because I think that when you're dealing with all different colors like purples and pinks and things like that, it just doesn't work. You need that little bit of green. And so this one here, it's also a very tight, lovely little bush. If you wanted to border around a garden, this would be a great one. Rather than having the expense of buying millions of them to make a border, you'll find this one's a good, strong, spreading one. And what you could do is you could buy a small number, grow it for a couple of years, then break it up into little pieces and spread it out. So this could actually be an expanding border in your garden. And as a green, it's a great one for contrasting with other heucheras and other coloured plants as well. Now here we have Midnight Rose. And Midnight Rose, I think it has to be one of my favourites, and it's exquisite. What I'll need you to do is have a close look at these leaves here. Look at these leaves here. And what you've got is you've got a beautiful large leaf. It's larger than most, very simple shape, and deep, deep purple with lovely little soft pink flecks through it. Really, really pretty. And then this contrast at this one here, beautiful white flowers. So beautiful contrast. You've got dark purple, you've got light pink, and you've got white. And this one here, you'll find this to be a good, strong grower and a nice hardy one to work with. So Midnight Rose, it's a beauty. I think the heucheras, when you get into them, they've got great names. I love Marmalade, and I love this one here. I love this sort of orangey sort of marmalade. I guess it's just a marmalade colour. Look at this pink underside on the leaf. What's marvellous about this one here, it has red flowers, beautiful spikes of red flowers when it flowers. So imagine the red flowers over the marmalade, absolutely beautiful. So there we are, marmalade, really, really interesting colour. Now, if you're nervous about getting into heucheras, this one here is probably the toughest, hardiest, easiest to grow of the lot. It's called an unusual name. It's called Obsidian. Beautiful, dark, dark purple. And then it has lovely stands of creamy white flowers. Beautiful contrast with the dark purple, but it's very, very tough, very easy to grow. Anybody could grow this almost anywhere. So this would be a good starting point for people to get into it. And the colour's superb. Obsidian. Right, this is another one. It's called Cranberry, and the leaves are a fairly light colour, and in hot areas you want to keep this out of the hot afternoon sun, maybe a little bit of filtered sun, sort of shelter it a little bit in the hotter areas, but you've got this beautiful frilly leaf. It has a very interesting sort of purple underside to it, and the flowers are white, and actually you can see it here in flower now, and look at the size of these flower spikes, really big and beautiful and fabulous. This is just the colour of cranberry juice, really, really pretty, and a lovely frilly leaf, but keep this one out of the really hot afternoon sun. Cranberry, beautiful. Now here we have, I think some people were having a bit of a laugh. They might have had a couple of glasses of wine too many when they named this, and they called this one here Pinky Panky. At any rate, what I love about it, look at this, there's not much flower on it at the moment, but at certain times of the year, this will be covered in beautiful pink flowers, and you can see the colour of that flower there. And the leaf has got sort of greens, creams, and little patches of pink on it. Have a close look at those leaves there. Absolutely beautiful. Look at that there. So there we are. Pinky Panky, a funny name, but a very, very pretty plant. Pinky Panky. And here we've got Snowy Panky. Now, Snowy Panky, we'll have a look at these leaves here. Sort of green, cream, and pink. And then when it flowers, beautiful spikes of pink flowers. And what you'll notice about this, it's quite a compact, neat little plant. So this would make a really pretty border, like really, really pretty, the gorgeous border. And it's quite a hardy, easy one to grow. But you wouldn't want to put this in the hot afternoon sun. So out of the hot afternoon sun, but very, very pretty and beautiful pink flowers. Now, I love Black Forest Cake. And here it is. There's your rich chocolate leaf, dark purple. And here's your cherries on top. Look at the beautiful cherries there, pinky red flower. So beautiful coloured flowers, lovely contrast with the dark purple leaves. And you'll find these dark purple ones are quite hardy, a bit hardier than some of the others. So black forest cake, a beautiful heuchera. Now the thing with heucheras is that you can grow them in a pot, grow them in a courtyard, and you pick that sort of spot that's sort of sunny in the morning, shady in the afternoon. But they're a wonderful, interesting plant to collect, to show your friends. Plant them so that they contrast with each other. You can do lovely patterns and things like that. You can make borders with them, grow beautiful clumps of them, have them in the garden. Have them in a pot out on the patio, and then when they flower, bring them inside and enjoy them inside in the house for a couple of weeks. And they're small. In a small area, you could have a lovely collection of these. So here's your heuchera heaven. Here's something that you can explore and play with. And the great thing about them is that they're a clumping plant, and they spread and they multiply. And then you can dig up that clump and split them up, and you could share them with your friends or expand them into more pots or expand them through your garden. So they're a plant that really almost anybody in a very big climatic zone can explore and enjoy them and have their own little heuchera heaven. Now, if you hang on for a minute, I'm going to come back and we're going to answer questions, but I only want questions about heuchera because today we're talking about heuchera. So come back and we'll answer some heuchera questions in a minute.
Hello.
Hi, so welcome to our question time. Now, do we have any questions on heuchera?
Oh, we absolutely do. All right. So we've got Sherry, who's on Facebook, has said, I want to grow
Hi, Sherry.
heuchera. How should I select and prepare the bed?
Okay, so what I'd be looking for is perhaps an east-facing bed, maybe, in front of a wall so that you're out of the hot afternoon sun. And then what you want to do is dig it over deeply, mix in some compost or some potting mix, make it lovely and loose and rich and deep, and then be prepared to keep it well watered. So well watered, loose, rich, deep soil, and you're in business. You can start planting your heucheras.
All right, beautiful. We'll go over to TikTok. So Renee is on TikTok, says, I live in Castlemaine. Will heuchera tolerate frost?
Okay, Castlemaine is a very frosty area, but I think if you chose a sort of a sheltered spot, under a tree or under some eaves or something up close to the house, you can get they will take quite a bit of frost. But in a really frosty area like Castlemaine, I'd be looking to, or you could grow them in pots and then bring them in under a tree or under the veranda or something for the winter. So I think with a bit of care, but they'll take for other people in other areas, like sort of say around Melbourne, say you're out in Eltham, or my mum used to grow heaps of them up in the Dandenongs, and with the level of frosts up there, which are not as severe as Castlemaine, just out in the garden and they're fine. But in a very frosty area like Castlemaine, maybe keep them in pots, put them under the porch, or grow them under, on the east side under a tree or something like that, and have that little bit of shelter from the frost. And they will take frost, but I think in the frostiest area, I'd look for a bit of shelter.
Wonderful. All right. So staying on TikTok, we've got Mark, who's asked, can I grow heucheras in Ballina?
Yes, you can. You certainly can. Basically, you can grow heucheras from the bottom part of Tasmania right up, probably right up as far as the Sunshine Coast, and they'll take the sort of the humid conditions. Again, most of them would want to be like dappled shade or out of the really hot afternoon sun, but certainly you can enjoy them up there, and they're well suited to your climate.
Fantastic. All right. Let me see. Let's go over to YouTube. We've got Christina, who asks, how much do heucheras cost?
Well, it depends where you go and, on special and things like that. But as a guide, I'd say sort of $17 to $24 each. And yeah, and that would pretty much cover you. And the thing that you can do with heucheras to reduce the cost is you can plant them in the garden and they multiply. You'll get little. If you put them in for 2 or 3 years, you'll find that where you planted one rhizome, you'll have 10 or 12 of them growing there, and you'll be able to break them up and give them to your friends, or spread them around the garden, or put them in new pots, so that they do multiply, and you can breed them up yourself.
Okay, great. Let me see. So staying on YouTube, Richard from Turak has asked, can I keep heucheras indoors?
No and yes. So say you grow them in a pot. Like heucheras are beautiful. Look at the color on this one here. Look at that pink there. Like now, and this one here, this one has a pink flower as well. So what you could do is you could grow this in a pot, and it could be out on your patio or in the courtyard, and you do it on like against an eastern wall, so you got morning sun and afternoon shade. Because this one with the very light colors wouldn't like hot afternoon sun. But so you could grow this in a pot, and if you're in a hurry to get that pot looking good, you can put 2 or 3 of them into a pot and make a beautiful pot. Or you can do what I've done here. Have a look here. Look, I've got a green one, a pink one, and a purple one. And then underneath I've put some baby's tears, because baby's tears is a sort of shade-loving green ground cover that complements them rather and doesn't compete with them. So you could plant a pot and you could do a combo like I've done here, or you could just fill a pot up with this beautiful pinky panky, it's called, which is a bit of a weird name. But anyway, so you could fill up a pot with that, and then when it's in flower and looking really beautiful, you could bring it inside and put it on the coffee table and enjoy it inside. So, and you might keep it inside for 2 or 3 weeks, but you wouldn't keep it as a permanent indoor plant. But certainly 2 or 3 weeks when it's at its prime, and you could even bring it in a couple of times a year and have it looking fabulous. So yes, you can have them indoors, but not all the time.
Okay, wonderful. All right, so probably move over to Instagram now. Let's see what we've got. Gillian, what are good plants to grow with heucheras?
What you want is you want things that don't, well, you can pop heucheras into a cottage garden, and, you could do, but things that could work well, like here we've got this beautiful dark purple one. It's called, what's this one called? This is
Cocoa.
So this one's called Cocoa, beautiful dark purple, lovely foliage. Now you could put something like that with a snow in summer, and the snow in summer is sort of silver and flat and low, and that would do really, really well. And snow in summer doesn't need hot full sun. Another good plant to grow around them would be Pratia. Now Pratia is like a moss. It's like a green mossy sort of low spreading ground cover, and you can get it in white or pale blue, and so you could get it with a complementary color in the flower. And they flower for about 6 months of the year, and they would ooze over the side of your pot or look really good in the garden. So, and then dichondra, like the silver dichondra or your green dichondra, will look really good with them. So here's a couple. Dichondra in either green or silver, lovely spreading plant, low and allows your heuchera to feature, and Pratia white or blue, and baby's tears or snow in summer if you want a really bright silver contrast, and it'll have lovely white flowers in springtime. So that'd be all great plants to mix up with your heuchera and add to your enjoyment of your heuchera either in the pot or in the garden.
All right. Let me see. Go over to TikTok. We've got Sarah who asks, what's the best fertilizer for heuchera?
Well, look, there's lots of things that you could use, but I think a slow. Well, you could use a foliar fertilizer like a power feed or something like that on them occasionally, but I think overall, and you could also use your sea salt when you're freshly planting them to help root growth and strengthen them up a bit. You could use your sea salt. So sea salt to get them started and get them going, power feed to give them a bit of a boost, and then all year round, I think a slow release like an Osmocote would be perfect for them. And don't go too heavy, but they want to be in lovely loose soil, beautiful potting mix, and something like a slow release, and maybe the sea salt to kick them off, and the power feed is a bit of a booster occasionally, and that'd be great fertilizer for them.
All right, so coming over to Facebook, we've got a question from Paul who's asked, I've got a deep shady spot under the shade of a mulberry tree. Will heucheras do well there?
Yes, yes, certainly. Heucheras will do well in really, really deep shade. And what's great is in quite a shady spot, they'll maintain the lovely colour in the foliage. And ones like this pinky panky here, and this snowy panky really require a bit of shade, because they don't. These ones here with the lighter coloured foliage can sunburn in hot sun. So the shade could be a real advantage for you.
Fantastic. All right, well, I think that's gotten us to the end of our questions for today.
Right. Okay. So thank you very much, and welcome to Heuchera Heaven.